So what makes for a really good home inspection report? I think what really makes a home inspection report excellent is that it's very, very detailed and it's loaded with pictures, being coupled with easy to read and to follow. I've seen some home inspection reports that are just really difficult and challenging, and those in particular are the checklist style reports. So what you guys want is a home inspector that's going to take his time and spend hours creating the report, incorporating the pictures, so it makes it easier for you guys to negotiate the deal. If you look at a report and you don't know what's going on and you're confused as to what's happening, how good is that? That's not going to work out well for you. So you want a very detailed home inspection report. My home inspection reports are 80, 90 pages long, full of photos. And one thing that I like to do is I put a summary page on the report. So the summary is going to be the highlights. So you can grab from the summary the big issues in the home, and it kind of makes it easier for you to negotiate or ask the attorney and say, here, these are the things that I want to ask for. These are the big items. Here's 5 items, here's 6 items, 10 items, whatever, what have you. These are the items that we want corrected or we want credits for. It makes it easy. Of course, there's a lot of other defects, most likely, that are going to be on the body of the report, and you can pull from those too. But I think it's really nice to just know that the big issues, in my mind, are going to be up front in the summary page, and I think that's really important. So I incorporate about 100 photos plus in all of the home inspection reports. So you'll see the defect and a complete narrative description. So it's not a checklist or any garbage or nonsense. My reports take 3 or 4 hours each one to create. So I'm sometimes taking longer to do the report, as long to do the report as I am at the house. And I think that's really important because you're really getting your money's worth. I'm really working hard for you guys, and I'm trying to make a report that's easy to read and very, very useful. So here I have some problems that I found in houses this week. We can take a look at these defects. I explain these defects. Maybe some of these defects are relatable to your own house. Maybe some of these are going to be relatable to a house you're buying. Anyway, thanks for stopping in. John from LookSmart Home Inspections. Let's take a look and see what we have. Here we have this efflorescence on this chimney. So efflorescence is actually salt and mineral deposits coming through the masonry, and we have a lot of efflorescence here. This is probably built up over the years. And typically why this happens is because we don't have a proper chimney crown or cap. So the crown is the mortar that's on top of the chimney that directs water away from the top of the chimney so it doesn't penetrate, cause damage to the bricks. Our crown is not configured correctly. And we don't have a rain hat, so we just have water going into this chimney over the years. And this is what can happen. So it's likely that we're gonna need a chimney liner replacement in this chimney. We're gonna need a crown, and we're gonna need a rain hat for sure. So this is something you don't want to see. If you see this white material on the outside of the brick chimney, you got water going in the chimney where it shouldn't be. So this is a problem. This is not what we want. We don't want the siding, exterior siding, touching the patio because water is going to wick into the bottom of this siding, causing damage, which it has here already. When we have a home that's low to a patio or low to the ground, it makes it more vulnerable for termites, carpenter ants, and wood rot to occur because there's no buffer zone. There's no space in between the patio and the structure. So termites, carpenter ants, and water can just lay up against here and cause this damage. So when we go down to the basement, we're going to be looking at this sill plate and seeing if there's any kind of water penetration in the sill plate and box plate to see how we're doing. Right now in this house, it's a very old house. It's very neglected, and I'm not so sure that we're going to have really good news on this one. But even on new homes, if you see this type of thing, it is going to be a problem over time. So look at this sill plate. This is a sill plate. Look at this. Look at this. That's holding her house up on top of the foundation wall. Look at that. That's what happens when we have the siding and the soil and the structure so close. So that when we have structure so close to soil, over the years, this can be the result right here. Look at that. This is not termite damage. This is water damage and wood rot here. So that's a no-go. And sometimes you go into a house and you wonder why you're here. And today's house is, I'm wondering why I'm here. But anyway, that has to be replaced for sure. Here we have a patio that's installed without a slope away from the house. So this is what we call a neutral slope patio. Water is going to collect on here, but where's it going to go? It's got nowhere to go because we don't have a pitch away. Water is just going to sort of collect on this patio. And then we have the siding on this house directly on the patio, and that's going to cause that water to wick into it. So a couple of problems here. This could be a lot better. And this is vulnerable. We never want to have water collecting close to the foundation. We always want to direct it away. I guess if there was a poster of a retaining wall failure, this would probably be it here. So this wall is in complete failure. It's almost fully pushed over. It's not capable of supporting the soil behind it. Water pressures come in, it's pushed the wall over. There is no retaining wall anchoring or dead men here to secure the wall properly into the soil. So this is basically a redo. This wall needs to be replaced to prevent this soil from encroaching here on this patio. So definitely something that's going to need to be completed and done. Here we see some termite damage to the box plate right there. I probed that. It's soft. I opened it up a little bit. You see some mud in there. So this home is definitely going to have to be treated for termites. And yes, I do see the remnants of that asbestos right there too on that old steam heating pipe a little bit here. So that's going to be in the report as well, but definitely termite damage right there. You can see that scoring to that floor joist right there. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but this water heater is making a popping sound, a percolating sound, which generally has to do with sediment that's built up here, and it begins to percolate. That sediment begins to make noise as the water's heating. So that's an indication that we either need to flush this water heater, okay, and we might get a little bit lesser of a life expectancy. This water heater is 8 or 9 years old anyway, and we're nearing its 10-year life expectancy. But whenever I hear this percolating sound, I'm not sure you can hear it in the video, that kind of brings to light, it's sort of an age or wear indicator. It also tells me that there could be hard water coming into the home with high mineral content, and that's probably why we hear this percolating noise, which really the water heater should need replacement near term for sure. We'll test hot water when we go up. And one of the places I like to look for hard water stains is inside the dishwasher. So we'll look for hard water stains inside the dishwasher to see if there's any issue with that. And we'll also see the age of the dishwasher. We don't want hard water in a house because it can seriously degrade the appliances. You get much shorter life expectancy. Your laundry doesn't work as efficiently, and your showers are going to be, relatively unpleasant. This is a natural draft water heater. We have a 3-inch vent pipe over here going into the chimney thimble. The chimney is a masonry chimney. We used to have the old boiler or furnace. I believe it was a boiler because we have remnants of steam heating. But the issue here is that we shouldn't have this water heater venting alone in this chimney because the BTUs aren't sufficient enough to vent out properly the exhaust gas, and we can get condensation building up inside the chimney, which is problematic. So this is something that should be corrected. They installed a high efficiency furnace which vents out the side of the building, which is great. So we'll recommend over here that this water heater be replaced when it is time. And it's not actually that old, unfortunately, but when it is time to replace this water heater, this should be also replaced with a high efficiency unit. But one of the things I'm going to bring to light is the condition of the base of this water heater. Right here we have a lot of rusting right on the base of this water heater. So really by rights this water heater should be replaced now for safety reasons and for the condition of the unit at the base here. So this is really an unsafe condition and it should be corrected. You can also cause significant issues to the inside of the chimney caused by that condensation buildup inside the chimney. Here we have a pretty significant shear crack with some foundation wall movement. Long crack here caused by soil pressure pushing against the wall. And that hydraulic pressure is bowing the foundation wall right in this area here. I don't know if you could see it in the picture. Just disregard the children's playing on the markings here, but that's being pushed over this way. And if we go over here, kind of see the same thing. This is the front of the house, and we have this shear crack right here going all the way down with bowing the foundation wall right through here. So foundation wall is being pushed in right over here that way. If we go over there, so all of the foundation walls in this home are affected with this cracking. And this is the back of the house. This is probably the worst area. And then you can see the shear crack right here and the bowing of that foundation wall. So horizontal mid-wall crack caused by soil pressures. The fix here is typically carbon fiber straps installed every 6 feet or so. It's kind of an expensive fix. So they're gonna have to get a few estimates on this to see, but we're probably talking about a pretty big number because all of the foundation walls in this house are affected by this. I mean, I'm only 5'6", but really, why finish this attic space? You know, I don't really get it. Why finish this attic space if you can't even stand up in it and it's going down and down and down and down? Now I'm on my knees. I'm on my knees. Look at that. Nah, I don't know about this one. I don't think I would finish this attic. It's too short. When I'm looking at a sewer line cap and I see one of these either red or yellow, orange gripper type plastic caps, that's usually an indication that we've had a sewer line issue, probably roots in the sewer line. And this just makes it easy for us to get a rooter type or a jetter system in there. But this is something that I call out because I want the buyer of the house to have a proper sewer line inspection, which I can do. This is something that I can't see below ground and can be very expensive to fix if there's problems with the sewer line. So keep your eyes open for these plastic caps. They're not the obviously original caps to the old sewer line. This one looks like it's old cast iron. And if you see something like this, generally speaking, they've had some problems. Here we have some sistered floor joist right here because of the termite damage to the original floor joist. You can see that right there. And along here we have termite scoring, some more termite damage to this joist, and a lot of termite damage to this joist right here. So we've had a lot of termite damage to this house. And it looks like they did a pretty good job with sistering the floor joist here. So we have a sister board attached to the original board here. And one thing that we want to look at when we have a sister board like this, is there enough meat in this original board right here to support the sistering? So we want to be able to go into solid wood here, which we do have, to make sure that this sistering is going to be properly supportive. And it looks like they are. There's plenty of meat left in the original joist. This is just scoring of the surface of the bottom of the joist, but there's plenty of meat in the joist itself. And another thing we want to look at with proper sistering is their bearing. We need to make sure that these ends of these new sister boards are actually tied into the beam here, which they are. So, that looks pretty good. So this is better than most attempts at repair, but we've had a lot of damage for termites. They've been in this house for a long time, and we definitely want to make sure that the house has been properly treated for termites, for sure. But this is what sistering looks like. Actually not a bad job done here at all. I'm in a living room and taking a look at an electrical outlet, but you see what happened here. These prongs of the plug broke off inside the outlet, and that's a pretty significant safety hazard. A child can come touch that and be electric shocked or worse. So this is definitely something that should be corrected, because it is an imminent safety hazard right here, because whatever it was broke off right into the electrical receptacle that we're testing. This is a living room right here. Here we have a shallow well that is still in operation in this old house here. And so this is a child safety hazard. We have a metal cover here and this grate, but we have to make sure that this is really secure, because it's about a 15-foot drop down in here. And if we see in the corner, we have a jet pump. So a jet pump is usually an indication that we have a shallow well. So when we go in this house, we're definitely going to be running water to make sure that we have adequate volumes of water. So this one we don't really see too often. Usually we have a deep water well. This is a shallow well. And a lot of times we'll find that water pressure and volumes of water are not really adequate for a modern lifestyle. So we have to do some digging on this to see what's going on. This is something interesting we don't come across every day. When we have carpet like this in a bathroom, I always like to look under the carpeting to see what we have. And a lot of times we'll find some cracked tiles, and then, we'll find some loose tiles as well. So it always pays to try to look wherever you possibly can, and especially under these little area rugs or throw rugs. Sometimes there's cracked tiles or other problems under there that we're just not going to see unless we move them. But these tiles right here are loose. You can hear them. They're loose. And so that should be corrected. No crisis, but should be corrected.